What's up, guys? Mike Yonda here with Fastlane Fitness, and I want to talk to you about the power of fear. Now, fear has the ability to be an excellent motivator for you if you let it motivate you. But at the same time, it can be incredibly debilitating and prevent you from reaching your goals if you allow it to. The key is that you have a choice, and it's up to you whether it's a motivator or it's something that prevents you from being successful. If you look at the people that have achieved their dreams and have had success, it's because they've faced their fears and they've conquered them. And on the opposite end, if you look at people that haven't achieved their dreams, it's because they've let fear control them. They probably haven't even attempted to reach their goals. Or if they have, they've retreated at the first sign of failure, the first sign of resistance, the first time that fear showed up or what they were worried about started to appear. And so what I really encourage you to do is whenever you're scared of something, ask yourself, what's the worst thing that could happen? Right? Because probably nothing bad at all is going to happen. And even if something bad does happen, the worst case scenario is probably a lot less, well, it's not as bad as what you've built up in your mind, because our imagination is a powerful thing. And the thing that you're imagining as the worst case scenario is probably never going to happen. So be honest with yourself and ask, what is the worst realistic thing that could happen? And once you do that and you realize that it's probably not a bad thing, it makes you come to the realization that I have, that if you're scared to do something, you should probably do it. And you should probably use that fear as a motivator, because it can only lead to good things and to new opportunities. Like, let's talk about fitness, right? A lot of us are scared to get rolling with fitness, or we're worried about it. I mean, maybe you don't realize that yet. Maybe you're telling yourself it's something else, but I think that fear is a big reason that a lot of us don't pursue our fitness goals. So let's talk about a couple things that I've run into before. What if I fail? What if my diet doesn't work? A lot of people are worried about this, but what's the worst thing that could happen? You try out a diet, you find it isn't for you, you're miserable, you have low energy, or maybe the weight just doesn't come off. Who cares? Now you know something that doesn't work for your life, and you've probably figured out what it is about that diet plan that doesn't work for you. And so now when you go and find the next diet plan, or you try out something new, you can find something that doesn't have that issue. Right? If you really suck at low carb, then you know that you need to have something that incorporates carbs. If you're really bad at eliminating certain types of foods, you need a plan that incorporates those foods. The worst thing that could have happened is that you find out what doesn't work for you. That way you have a better idea of what might work for you the next time you try. Right? What about the situation where you're afraid to go to the gym because you don't want to look stupid? I hear this all the time. Well, I don't want to go to the section with the barbells because there's all these muscly dudes over there and I'm embarrassed. I'm overweight, or I'm this scrawny person, or I'm a girl and I don't want to go over to the section with all the dudes. Like, what's the worst that could happen? You think that maybe behind your back they're looking at you going like, look at this idiot. They don't have a clue what to do. They don't even know how to hold the bar or to do the movement. Like, who cares? For one, I can tell you that's not what those people are thinking. Most people in that environment are going like, yeah, props to that person for starting out and for giving it a shot, because they've all been there, right? But even if they were thinking that, who cares? They're not saying it to you. It's all in your head. And even if they are, you're going to keep showing up. In 6 months from now, your body's going to have transformed. You're going to be so much stronger, and you're going to be a dozen steps closer to your goal, and any judgment that they'd cast upon you in that moment is going to have completely changed to respect by the time that you're 6 months in doing it. So what's the worst that can happen? Why are you letting fear hinder you from reaching your goals? Let it be a motivator, right? Whatever it is that you're scared of, that worst case scenario, that sequence that you've dreamed up in your mind that's so bad that you're afraid that you're going to let it happen, use that as a motivator to reach your goals, because you're going to work so hard to make that scenario not happen, to avoid it, that it's not going to happen. And instead, you're going to go way beyond anything that you ever thought was possible. So next time you're scared of something, embrace it. Take that fear as a sign that you need to do that thing in order to improve your life, to open up new opportunities, and to see all of the great things that are going to happen when you face that fear head on. And then use that fear as a motivator. That way you can reach your goals, or even beyond what your wildest dreams are. All right. And thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this tip, if you found it helpful, please follow me on YouTube, or you can join the mailing list on the website, fastlane-fitness.com.